Hey, it's me, Zay4People Brox, the British Tech Guru. These are add-on components, well, apart from the switches, that you are likely to find advertised in the various different microcontroller shops, online and wherever. Some of these are what I would call scams. This is actually quite a decent little thing. It's a sonic rangefinder. But these are a total scam. And those are, if you go to AliExpress, those are like 35 cents each. Doesn't sound that bad, does it? But look at it. All it is this connector and two resistors. That is all this is. And the resistors, well, these are SMD resistors, which you can get for 84 cents for 100. Or regular resistors, 53 cents for 100. And the PCBs you can get for 79 cents for 5. And this could be made out of a small portion of a PCB. So, and for the amount you're spending there, that's what, 0.53 cents times 2, so 1.6 cents, and then probably about a fifth of a 79 cents of PCB. So a fifth of 79 cents would be what, 22 cents, shall we say? So 22 cents, and then no, less than that, probably more like 17 cents. 17 cents, and a fifth of that, 2 cents, or 3 cents plus 2 cents, so 5 cents. You could build this yourself, and you can get this on AliExpress for 35 cents, or on one of the other places for probably up to about $5. I think I've seen these on Amazon for about $8. They're not worth it. Most of these add-ons are not worth the money. And this one transistor and 3 resistors. That is not worth it. This one transistor, 1 chip, and about 5 or 6 resistors. This one, again, half a dozen resistors, 2 capacitors, and a couple of pots. Again, not worth it. Not worth it for the money you spend. And these, again, well, that's getting a bit more complicated to DIY, but, you know, even so, and if you, I am not in favor of all these components. I have a lot because I bought them when I didn't know very much. I would much rather these days, instead of using these, I use ordinary cheap electronic components, the individual components, and I just solder them onto a PCB. It's not hard, and if you look online, you can generally find a circuit diagram that actually works. Now with these, the big problem is the vast majority of the libraries to program them, to program your microcontroller, don't work for them. But some of them they do. You're far better off if you're doing microcontrollers, instead of doing, and these, for example, that is not very much, but that is actually a gas sensor. But you can get these gas sensors on their own without all this bit, and you just put your own things on it. And these just have the bits on it to make them to make it work with is that I2C? Anyway, you just buy the individual components. Don't bother with all this stuff. buy the individual components and build what you want the way you want. This stuff is very handy if you're going to try things out. And you just want to put things together, try them out, take them apart, and then build something else, and then take it apart, and then build something else, and then take it apart. If you're going to play, it probably works. This is probably good for children, but if you're going to do it seriously for yourself, you're going to build a circuit, you're going to put a microcontroller on it, you're going to leave it put together, because the microcontrollers are cheap enough that as an adult, you can keep buying them. And good God, I do. And these are oh, I've got the box the wrong way around. These are microcontrollers. These are not all the microcontrollers I have. I have several that aren't in the boxes. But you've got the ready-made stuff, and I've soldered all the pins on. But this is where the fun starts, with the ATtiny13, ATtiny85, and ATtiny45. Oops. Oh, drop that on the ground, pick it up, put it back in the box. Yeah, and then of course you've got these ESP32s with built-in screen. These camera modules, ESP32 cameras. You've got Arduino Metro. I thought I had an Arduino Uno here somewhere. ATtiny88. More ATtiny88s. I buy a pile of these. But these days I am not soldering the pins on. I'm just soldering wires directly to them because it makes much more sense. These ESP32C3. Again, we've got, I'm not sure what that is, but oh, hang on, what have we got there? Oh, no, that's a miniature Pi Pico. Then of course, what is that? I'm not sure quite what that is. Oh, that is a funky one. I've never managed to use that. That is an ATtiny85 in a funky package that basically makes it very hard to use. Yeah, and then of course you've got the funky ones like this, which is the Simulunk Eru. Yeah, the problem is the funkier the processor, the funkier the thing, the harder it is to use. And these ESP32s are something I really haven't got into yet, but I might one day. But I've got enough that if there's a problem with supply, I can get more. So if there's a problem with supply, I don't need to get more. I've got enough to keep me going for as long as I want. But as I said, the thing is, I'm using more of these, and you know, and build my own circuits using resistors, capacitors, transistors. I don't need all the funky stuff, and the funky stuff is where all your money runs away. You know, and most things, you only need an ATtiny85 or ATtiny13. So, yeah, keep it simple.